Today, we're mixing it up a little bit, jumping out of comics and moving into the realm of games. Specifically, Pokemon and Street Fighter, with Pikachu versus Blanka. Who's coming out on top? Well, let's find out.
Hear the music.
I could do this all day.
Pikachu, the mouse Pokemon, is an electric-type Pokemon and is owned by Ash Ketchum. Pikachu is one of the most famous and recognizable Pokemon of all time. Now, even though Pikachu appears to be a small and cute little guy on the surface, he's actually surprisingly strong and durable, especially for something his size. I mean, Pikachu has consistently been able to send opponents flying backwards or knock them out with his attacks, even Pokemon that dwarf Pikachu in size. He's also durable enough to take beatings from stronger and larger Pokemon, be slammed into walls hard enough to crack them, and even take attacks from legendary Pokemon, and get back up and keep on fighting through all of it. Pikachu's greatest asset, though, has got to be his speed. The little guy is crazy fast. I mean, he's kept up with Latios, a legendary who can move as fast as a jet, blitzed Pokemon who can dodge supersonic attacks, and has hit Pokemon who can move as fast as bullets. Then there are all of Pikachu's moves, which are crazy powerful, especially compared to a normal Pikachu. Thunderbolt is his favorite move, and it's so powerful that it's cracked boulders and tore up the ground and even blocked Hyper Beam. And then there's Thunder, which is a more powerful version of Thunderbolt. Thunder is even so powerful that it's injured Dragonite, filled entire battlefields with electricity, and blasted Milotic with so much power that it created a giant column of water over 2 stories high. With Quick Attack, he's able to move way faster than the eye can follow, even being able to run all around multiple falling rocks, running up the rocks, then changing direction and slamming into Electivire. Pikachu's Iron Tail is shattered through metal, blocked and destroyed attacks from other Pokemon, and sent Pokemon flying backwards with so much power that he sent them flying through solid rock or embedded into a wall. In fact, Pikachu has used this attack to block and overpower attacks from Mega Lucario, and shatter a special alloy that a Pokemon capable of easily shredding metal couldn't even scratch. Pikachu's Volt Tackle has been able to plow right through metal or solid rock, send Regis, a legendary, flying backwards into a wall, and has even been able to charge through attacks from Latios, another legendary. Then finally there's Pikachu's Electro Ball, which can cause massive explosions capable of shattering metal, block attacks from Mega Lucario, and overpower Solar Beam. Now, even though Pikachu often gets orders from Ash during a fight, the little guy is still real smart and has some great battle intuition, even occasionally suggesting certain strategies to Ash. End of the day, Ash's Pikachu is easily one of the most powerful non-legendary Pokemon in the whole anime, and has beaten pseudo-legendary Pokemon like Dragonite. Is the only Pokemon in the anime who's beaten a Mega Evolved Pokemon without Mega Evolving himself, and defeated legendary Pokemon like Latios and Regis. So that's what we got in one corner, Pikachu. But coming in the other corner, straight out of Street Fighter, Blanka. Blanka is a green, human-like creature who developed green skin electric power after spending years deep in the Amazon jungle. Despite his monstrous appearance and feral demeanor, he actually is a very docile creature. Blanka is strong enough to bash and stagger opponents with his attacks, and he's even strong enough to lift up and throw a bus. Vika's claws have literally shattered on contact with his skin, and his claws have been able to cut through metal in the past, and he's been able to take plenty of powerful attacks and just hop right back up afterwards and counterattack. Blanka is also a skilled fighter, tending to fight with a more self-taught animalistic and savage style, relying upon speed and unpredictability. He loved surprising his opponents with the sudden ferocity of his attacks, and his jump is very fast as well, oftentimes being able to hop over projectiles and attack opponents before they can recover. He's also able to counter moves in unique ways because of his bestial nature, sometimes just walking forward and letting high attacks just pass over his head. The rolling attack is Blanka's signature special attack, where he curls himself into a ball and then rockets across the battlefield. This type of move is actually the basis for his entire fighting style, and includes things like the vertical roll, the backstep roll, the ground shave roll, or the rolling cannon or lightning cannon ball, where he tucks down, gets into a ball, then shoots forward, all while his entire body is surging with electricity. He's got electric thunder, where he crouches down and conducts several thousand volts of electricity through his body, zapping opponents, and the shout of the earth, where he pounds the ground, and can either release electricity in a massive column and can hit airborne opponents, or pound the ground a second time and cause people on the ground to be electrocuted. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, I just want to be real clear here. When it comes to Pokemon and Pikachu, the games and the anime are two different beasts. And we're just talking about the anime here. They're just different canons, and you can't mix them and still have an accurate fight. That's actually what I've seen as the biggest criticism for Death Battle when they did this fight. Like when they talked about base stats or effort value training for Ash's Pikachu, which is actually just a part of the gameplay mechanic, and this is not at all how Ash and Pikachu train in the anime. Like I said, it's just a whole different thing. I really just want to drive that point home before we get started. So the first thing I want to take a look at is physicality. Now, obviously, Blanka is a whole lot stronger than Pikachu. He's literally picked up and thrown whole buses before. And while Pikachu has shown he can lift a few hundred pounds, he's also struggled to lift 5 pounds. The little guy is just ridiculously inconsistent, seemingly scaling in power to whoever lies in front of him. But we'll circle back around to that later. Also, I don't really think physical strength is going to be the ultimate factor in this fight. Durability, once again, I give the edge to Blanka. Metal claws have shattered against his skin, where Vega is usually able to slice through metal. He's also regularly been able to take some real powerful attacks and keep on fighting through it. But don't be fooled by Pikachu's small appearance. He's deceptively durable. I mean, in the Pokemon universe, arguably the most durable Pokemon, Shuckle, is only slightly bigger than Pikachu. Size doesn't equal durability, and this is regularly shown, as Pikachu has taken powerful attacks that have sent him flying backwards or embedded him in walls, yet he's able to pop right back up afterwards and keep on fighting. Some of these attacks have even been from Mega Evolution or Legendary Pokemon. So while small, he's definitely able to take a punch. But I think the most important thing physically has got to be speed. And Pikachu is way faster, and he's consistently shown this. Blanka doesn't have many speed feats to speak of, although he has been able to regularly dodge attacks from opponents, or even sneak up on Ryu, an experienced and skilled fighter. Although, really, you could argue that was more because of the fact that Blanka caught him by surprise, not because Blanka is too fast for Ryu to react to. On the other hand, Pikachu is hella fast. He's regularly moved much faster than the eye can follow, has been able to leap between falling rocks flying past him, and has dodge attacks from Latios, who's as fast as a fighter jet, has regularly dodged multiple attacks coming his way, or rolled out of the way of attacks at the last second. And that's not even including when he uses moves that purposely increase his speed, like agility or quick attack. When he uses agility, he's able to move so fast that it appears he's in multiple places at once. And with quick attack, He's able to run up vertical surfaces. He's even blitzed and outreacted Pokemon who they themselves were fast enough to produce afterimages or move as fast as a bullet. Pikachu is crazy fast. But it's not just all about physicality. Both of these guys have their fair share of unique attacks that they can use in this fight. Now, Blanka is definitely the better and more skilled fighter, considering that he regularly goes up against and beats experienced combatants. He also utilizes a savage and animalistic style, surprising opponents with just the suddenness and sheer ferocity of his attacks. His go-to move is the rolling attack, and variations of this move, and it's where he curls himself up into a ball, then frickin' launches himself across the battlefield and at opponents. Blanka is also able to control and manipulate electricity just like Pikachu, letting his entire body surge with electricity, then attack, or call down and channel electricity and let it hit an opponent. However, I'm not sure just how effective these moves will be against Pikachu. For starters, we gotta go back to Pikachu's speed and agility. For the most part, Blanka's main attack is really no different than tackle or rollout, even though it might be more powerful. And Pikachu has dodged countless of these attacks in the past. He's also durable enough to take those attacks and keep on chugging, considering he's taken Regice's Focus Punch, dropped right back up into the battle, and took Lartius's Giga Impact twice in the same battle, didn't go down. Those are both two powerful physical attacks, and they were even delivered by legendary Pokemon. Pikachu didn't go down. Then there's Blanka's electric attacks. Now, since Pikachu is an electric-type Pokemon, that means that the little guy is going to be inherently super durable and resistant to electric attacks. They're not going to be very effective on him. In fact, Pikachu has even shown that it can absorb electricity, and even absorb electric attacks from legendaries. And all this electricity significantly boosts his power. No, Blanka's best chance to put Pikachu down on a consistent basis is just try to straight up overpower the little guy. On the other hand, Pikachu's attacks are going to be effective against Blanka. Now, I know you might be thinking, I thought you said that electric type attacks aren't very effective against other electric types. So why will Pikachu's attacks be effective against Blanka? Easy. Blanka isn't a Pokemon. He doesn't have a type. And you can't just assume that it'll react to attacks the same way that Pokemon would. And while it's safe to assume that Blanka has some natural resistance to electricity, considering that he can channel it in himself, he's never really dealt with electric attacks on Pikachu's level. Like we've said, at his best, Pikachu is one of the most powerful, non-legendary Pokemon out there. Pikachu's electric attacks are so powerful that he's destroyed whole battlefields, injured and beaten Pokemon that are supposed to be immune to electric attacks, and at his absolute best, he's destroyed a mountain before. Volt Tackle has plowed through solid ice, rock, and metal, and even plowed through legendary Pokemon's counter-attacks. Electric Ball has been able to go up against Mega Evolved Pokemon, and Pikachu is really skilled and accurate with his throws. Then Iron Tail has regularly been able to slice through metal and material stronger than metal, and counter and disperse attacks that are coming his way. However, while it looks like things are definitely favoring Pikachu, there are a few additional things that we need to consider. First, Pikachu won't have Ash in this fight, and the little guy really is at his best when he's taking commands from his best friend. On the other hand, Blanka doesn't have to take orders from anyone, and really is an effective and skilled fighter. Secondly, Pikachu is capable of being ridiculously inconsistent when he's fighting. I mean, the little guy has gone from battling against and taking down Latios to not being able to beat a Snivy 4 episodes later. It's kinda insane just how all over the place he was. So, end of the day, who wins? Well, I think it's still Pikachu. While he's definitely at his best with Ash, Pokemon are still sentient and independent creatures, and Pikachu has proven this, coming up with creative plans without Ash even knowing what was going on, and he's even taken out Pokemon who were immune to his attacks with Ash being nowhere around. Pikachu isn't some helpless little mouse without his trainer. And while he is real inconsistent in some fights, the best way to look at this is by taking all of his fights into consideration, then trying to find the middle ground. Well, by doing that, Pikachu is definitely on the higher end rather than the low. He really is one of the most powerful Pokemon in the whole show, and it's just something else altogether. Pikachu is able to run circles around Blanka, and is strong enough to cause some serious damage with his strikes. And while Blanka can take more hits than Pikachu, he's ultimately going to land less hits and take more hits. I see Pikachu coming out on top here. Pikachu wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications to join the Fanco army, and I'll see you next time.